everyone. Familiar faces. Hi.
I was going to say you look like a Victoria. Secrets, baby.
I know, no secrets. No secrets here. Yeah, you guys have a good Monday.
So far.
So far, so good. Yeah.
How's the market down south?
Yeah, it's funny. I was just talking to the agents over in Chris's branch this morning, and everyone was asking the same thing. They're like, "What's it like down there?" But I'm like, "You guys are like killing it up here in Sacramento. It's crazy." Yeah, but I mean, agents down there, they'll sell like one home every few months or something if they live off of that.
How's the inventory?
Low. Yeah, about the same. Yeah, everyone's doing good.
One other house is like 10 of ours, so that's...
Well, not quite
It's
10,
crazy.
but maybe more.
All right, let me log in.
Unless you're on the coast.
So we're gonna go over, from what I understand, just BackAgent, from creating a transaction and uploading our documents, kind of splitting pages, go over funding requests, demands. Is there anything in particular you guys wanted to go over? Or?
I just have one quick question. It's on how to make the CD of all the documents after you give your client.
Oh, a copy of it?
Yeah. Is it,
You know what? We used to have that feature. I don't know if it's still on there anymore.
well, there's a download all, but I don't
Is it
know
still
if that
on there?
downloads it all to your PC and then you have to throw it onto a CD.
Yeah, like
onto
puts
a
it like in a
PC.
folder and then you can like burn a copy.
Off your, is that
Is
how
it like a
works?
little picture of a floppy disk?
No, it just says download all documents. And
I
I've never tried to click on it yet because I don't know.
I'm scared.
I will tell you, I have found that it's a lot easier to just highlight all of the files, and something I want to make sure everybody knows, because I didn't think about it. I thought our CDA and our broker authorization forms and things like that, I should have known. We upload them into the system, but we don't want our clients to get a copy of our CDA. And so I was sending CDs to my clients, and I realized, oh crap, they know what I made, they know everything. That's not their business.
Yeah.
So I just highlight everything, cut and paste it to my desktop, remove what I don't want, and then I
Pick and
just,
choose, huh?
and then just like you would burn a CD any other way,
Yeah.
burn the files that way, because they have, it's unfortunate that there's like 20 steps through BackAgent to do it. And so I've just found it's a lot, or what I do is I'll cut and paste and stick it on my, my stick, my member stick,
Yeah.
and then I delete what I don't want, and then I burn it. It's a lot easier. So
So you can download all to the stick and then just
yes,
delete
and then
it.
cut and paste.
Each
It's
file.
perfect because at least when it's in BackAgent, everything will say connect. So if you've got a lot of things on your stick, you'll know everything that says connect, it's for that file, and then you can delete broker info, CDA, and things that you don't want your client to have.
But you can also do it by scanning. You can scan, like originally when you put it in, you can scan the document and load
Well, I
it in
do,
a file.
but
on your
I have them
desktop.
all over on the desktop,
But
and then
put
some
them
are
in-
signed
Put them in a
somewhere.
file, put them in a
Yeah.
folder, put them, whatever, put them in one
Yeah.
document. I just have one that says the name of the transaction.
Yeah.
And it's got everything.
Well, that's
in
what
that
I do
document.
too, but just I know once they're hit here, everything's
They're
completed
perfect,
and signed,
exactly. Your idea
and
is
everything's
Yeah.
everything's there, so I can pull it off, throw it on a CD, and give it to them. But like she said, I didn't think about the CDA and
Stuff you
the
don't
other
want
stuff.
to-
That's
I think
good
that would
things.
help you
Yeah.
too. Thank you.
Because the file like you have, you're right, but we'll have like 2 copies of a lead that only has the seller's signature or the buyer or whatever.
Yeah.
You got like 5 of them.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's just more
but then
clean.
you can do the same thing as you can, when you're scanning, you can go down into your file, at least the way I do it.
Yeah.
You go into your file, and then when you can load the document up,
Mhm.
I mean, you can look at it and see whether this is the one that has both signatures on it or only has one.
Mhm.
Because that way then you can update it as you're going along.
Mhm.
I think
But
there's
see, I
support.
always,
I think there's support in the BackAgent, all the transaction. You go down below, then click the one, download everything,
yeah, that's what we were
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
then
actually
take out
great.
whatever you don't want.
Yeah.
So everything is right there.
Yeah.
But there's some things I don't want to download.
Yeah.
But that's the problem I have is you get signed documents from your buyer or seller, whatever, then you need the other one. So by the time you get the document 2 or 3 times into your folder, then you just got to make sure you get the right one.
Well, how do you do it with your notes as far as your emails to that particular transaction?
I keep a communication log. I mean, I save everything and I back up my computer every night, so if something were to happen, for heaven forbid, I'll have all my emails.
Okay.
But anything that's really necessary, I actually handwrite on a communication log anyway, so I don't worry about the emails, but I do worry about the documents, and I always want to give a CD to my client, and I write on the CD, you know, Wendy May, my phone number, because it's so funny how many people have worked with me that just bought a house a year ago. I was like, why did you call your agent? They forgot who she was or what her number was. So, you know, that's another thing, just write on your CD, your name and number. You think that's so easy, but you'd be surprised.
They put that in the same folder that they put everything else
Yeah.
in that is
But if you see
missing.
the CD, at least, you know, if they lose your business card or they lost your magnet or, you know, whatever, they still find it on the CD.
I do something just a little bit different than that. The CDs are more the younger people, and I work more with the older people.
Yeah.
I think you
And
can
they
keep
love
also,
it. I put the, I
you can
make
keep
a
also
binder.
your file and,
Yeah.
and,
And it's
zip
got all
file.
these laster pieces of paper in there floating around.
Yeah.
I just make them, they have a copy of it.
Either way,
And
right,
they are so appreciative.
right,
And they just put it in away in a file.
right.
Well, I say one question, just one, check out half your meeting.
Well, go.
It's
fine. It's fine. All right, shall we start? Okay, so you guys have all logged into the BackAgent by now. So I'm going to start with just going to the Transactions tab. We're going to create a new transaction. Oh, I've got this mouse here. All right, so we're going to click Add a Transaction. It's going to ask us what category transaction is. We're going to click Residential. And we'll say Sale. All the easy stuff here.
Can I ask you just one quick question?
Sure.
You got past it, was the file kind of completed or active? How long do they keep them in there? Like if it's an old transaction?
I think they can keep them up like 10
You know how
years.
long? Oh,
Yeah,
so they do.
BackAgent.
You can go back as
Yeah,
far as you want?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, they're set up to store them forever. Okay, so now it's going to ask us where we want to start the transaction. I recommend, like I was telling our group earlier today, when you start working with your client, click on this phase right here, the start phase. Because a lot of our agents are uploading their files kind of last minute, right before we're about to close, and trying to cram everything in there last minute, all the disclosures, and then not really giving compliance or funding time to review any mistakes or fix anything that needs to be fixed. So right when you first start working with your client, it even says here when you've shaken hands with them, that it's best to start at this stage. But just for sake of training, we're going to start down here at the pre-closing stage. So we're going to assume that at this point we have a whole set of completed disclosures. We've got our purchase agreement, everything signed, ready to go. We're ready to put it in the system and submit for approval. So I'm going to skip down to this pre-closing stage right here.
It's like 3 days before you close, right?
We're going to pretend we're doing this last minute here. I'm the last minute
I'm one of
agent. And then it's just going to ask us who we're representing. We'll just say the buyer. And then we're going to select our client's name here on this link. You see that okay? It is, huh? No, I'm not sure how to fix
You
it.
might hit one of the lights.
Dim the,
Try it anyway.
does that help?
Yeah, let's do the other one too. I think that,
Guys,
still
don't
blurry.
worry.
Mystery light.
It's still blurry.
Is
Oh, that
it?
always
You
is
can't
on.
fix it.
Never
That
mind.
doesn't
Okay.
go out.
All right, well,
Mystery light.
we're going to just enter our buyer's name here. And it's going to ask for a phone number. Let's pretend it's this here.
Oh, there you go. Oh,
I can make it worse, but I can't
That's
make it
good,
any
that's
better.
better.
Is that better?
Mhm.
Okay, so we're going to add a new contact. BackAgent's going to save your contact information. So if in the future, a couple deals later, I'm working with Mr. John Smith again. It's going to save his information and populate it for you. So now we're going to create our transaction.
That actually saves everybody's, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so now we have our transaction created. And all I have now is my buyer's name. So now we're going to kind of work from left to right, going across these tabs here. So everything highlighted in orange is things that need to be addressed now. So the first one we're going to do is property. And BackAgent's kind of set up to kind of walk us through step by step. It's very user friendly. So now it says property is required. Now please click set property to the right. We're going to set the property. And we're going to enter basic info. This is just entering our,
I have a question.
sure.
I recently had one where it asked for the MLS, you know, so I went ahead and
Populated.
I put the MLS number in,
And it didn't work.
and guess what? The MLS was some country or some state clear or who knows where. I mean, it was so far away, and I kept repeating the number. I went back again, I double checked it. That number was right, and then did not show as being part of MLS.
Yeah, it's not, that's why we have to enter it manually for right now. That's something that they're supposed to be working on.
Okay, so there is a problem.
Yeah.
So it
Okay.
isn't just me.
Yeah. Yeah, because generally you're
know.
supposed to like, yeah, it's supposed to pull from the MLS, it'll populate the picture, your MLS picture, and all your information, sales price, your listing
But it
price, all
doesn't.
that. I know, so now we're gonna be doing it the long way here. Okay, we'll just say 1,000.
They're trying to figure out, because we have so many people across the states, how they're gonna be able to program this, so no matter what state you're in, that feature will work, and that's why it doesn't yet. But
Yeah.
they are working on it
Yeah.
right now.
So we hope to have that
They
soon.
meaning,
They meaning corporate.
oh, okay. Somebody.
Somebody.
Well, they have where we're from, so you're an agent from what state, it should automatically.
You would
Okay, so I'm gonna add my seller here.
Yeah.
This is just the basic information. We'll say seller is Mary Baker. I'm gonna add her as a contact. And then my co-op agent's gonna go here. So say my fancy names here. Oh, look, it looks like we already. Okay, I'm just gonna ask for her company. And the industry will be real estate broker. Pretty easy stuff. Everybody has the same phone number. And then we're gonna add as a new contact. So this is gonna ask me if I want it to be just my contact, it's a private contact, just that I can see, or if it's gonna be a community contact, so it's publicly shared across BackAgent. So we'll say this is my contact.
Why would you have it different?
Publicly?
What's the difference?
I don't think there is one. I mean, if it's publicly, then anyone can see her information. If someone's using the same agent, it'll populate for them when they enter her name, start entering her name.
Well, I mean,
So
your
you're
client,
giving
you
your
would
client
want
to
to be.
somebody
Your
else.
client
Yeah,
would be
your
your
client
only
would be
contact.
Yeah,
Private.
but if you're the co-op agent,
Or title.
right,
would
that's
be
Foxers are
community.
most
It is
common.
kinda nice, cause you start typing their name and it pops up on the right, and you just click it,
Yeah.
and everything
And
does.
just puts it in right for you, yeah, for all the convenience.
At least.
Okay, and I think this is the LO here. So we'll say. This is going to be under mortgage and loan. I'm gonna add my loan officer. And then the last one is just my escrow. Let's see. Lawyer's title. And then our escrow is gonna be in this drop down. And then add our escrow officer's information here. And then add as a new contact. So now I've got everyone filled in on my contacts tab, and then see how that's grayed out now? And then we'll just keep working towards the right, and then our next section here is dates and info. So click on that. And these are basically, a lot of these are yes or no questions and filling in dates, important dates for our transaction. It's gonna ask me when I first began working with my client. We'll just say it was on Monday. And then save.
Jeez Louise. Put a note to it.
It's gonna ask if it's a company lead. I'm gonna say no. Is anyone getting a referral? Are you paying another agent a referral from this? Say no. Yeah, this is the real easy stuff though. And it's gonna ask when my contract was executed. We'll say last Monday. We already got a deal closing. Is there a loan contingency? We'll just say no. And if you click yes, limited by days, it'll ask you how many days. You can enter 17 or whatever the days are. Okay, ask about the appraisal contingency. Just click any for now. And anytime you need to come in here and make any changes, you can edit any of these questions. You can come in and edit and change them at any time. So if our closing date is changing, we have an amendment that we got to upload, you'll go in here and change the closing date. And that's for reporting reasons too. Like if you ever see those alerts come from Lisa in funding, please update the closing date. It's because they're pulling reports out of BackAgent based on the information that we're entering. So we always want to make sure that those are up to date. Okay, when is our closing date? We'll say it's closing on Wednesday. And it's going to ask if the co-op agent is under the same broker. So if it's a another Connect agent, you'll enter their information, or if not, you'll click no. I think I already entered it as a PNC agent. Is it a land lot? No. And then here it's going to ask the ownership of the property. And based on which option we choose here, it's going to populate our required disclosure. So that whole list of all the required items that we need for this file is going to be on some of these questions here. So if we select short sale, it's going to ask for a short sale addendum, short sale information advisory. If we click on REO, it's going to ask for an REO advisory. So just kind of depending on which one we have, we'll just say it's a REO. And then it's going to ask when the property's built. So was it before 1960? We'll say no. Before 1970, obviously for the lead-based. And we'll say no. Okay, so let's know what is the sales price. We'll add it there. I know, there's like 15 total. I'm trying to move through these pretty fast here. Okay, the type of financing that our buyer's using. We'll just say convention, or we'll say cash. No financing. And when is our closing being held? So 13th.
So if you did VA funding or something like that, would papers come up that you would be required to get filled?
Yeah, it might, and I know on the cash deals, it'll ask for like verification of their funds. I want to see that uploaded.
Yeah.
So yeah, depending on which one we ask for. Okay, I want to know if they signed on with any of the following home warranty companies. We'll just say it's BPG. So you guys use mostly out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And did the client purchase inspection from any of the following inspection companies? And this is for reporting. We'll just say none. You again. Okay, so that one's gone. This one's gray now, and we're all done. Here's the summary of all the information we just entered. Yes.
If you wanted some of that information about VA funding or something like that that you're requiring in the system, how can you get that if you haven't got a client to enter in? Is there some way that you can get those documents from?
Can you fake it?
Put a
Fake
no in there.
Yeah, but kind of just how I create just a name here, and you can always change it later once you have the buyer.
Or if you don't get a buyer, can you cancel it?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
cancel it and delete it completely.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Like all these test files, we're going to be canceling and deleting these.
That's good to know.
Yeah. Okay, so working towards the right again, we're going to go to the Documents tab
It
here.
says test file.
So this is where we're going to be uploading the majority of our documents, the fun part.
Yeah.
I'm glad
Yeah.
you think so.
There's several ways to upload documents. The fastest way is to upload a single document. So if you have all your disclosures, 20 pages or so, scanned and saved on your computer somewhere or on a flash drive, it's easier to upload a single document and then split out the pages and kind of send them to their labeled sections. A lot of agents will scan, documents one at a time and upload them one at a time, and that's just not.
Yeah.
Well, there is it says that you can do multiple, but I've never been able to do multiple.
You have to go, you have to,
There's a place to click.
there's a place, yeah,
Yeah,
down
but
the
every
bottom.
time I do it,
Multiple buttons.
I get an error
There's two
message.
places to click though,
Okay, well, I clicked
We'll see.
one more.
Okay.
when
let's
you
try
get
it.
to it, yeah.
If you could do multiple files at once,
Yeah, you can.
I've never been able to do it.
So this is our list of all the required items for our REO property. So some of these will be tailored because it's an REO, and it'll flag a couple things. You won't see like the lead-based in here because we told it that it's not built prior to 1978. So like I said, it just kind of tailors to whatever the parameters of our transaction are.
If you sent some of those in, then they wouldn't show up for this one, correct?
If I sent some disclosures,
Already in, then all of these would not show up, correct?
yeah, they'll turn green. Right now they're orange, meaning that we have to upload them. So it says documents required now. And then they'll turn gray once that document is in that slot there. Somebody
Only
that
if it's in the right place,
Right.
long-term grant.
Right. Well, it's not going to know if you uploaded your agency where the purchase agreement's going to go. It's not really going to know that until compliance reviews it. So if it's in the wrong spot or they're transposing, that's not really a big deal as long as all the pages are there. The system won't recognize that though.
Will they
It
fix
just sees a document loaded there.
Does the compliance manager fix it, or do they just leave it and say, ah, it's all in there?
I think it kind of depends on who's reviewing the file. I wouldn't kick a file back just because they were in the wrong spots, as long as all the pages were there and they
Are
were
you a
just
file
switched.
kicker?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't tell
I
anyone.
won't tell you your name then.
If it's complete, there's no reason to hold it up. Yeah.
Doesn't
I have
Cersei,
one kickback like 4 times.
doesn't Cersei?
Yeah, Dave and Cersei does too.
Dave and
Well,
Cersei?
Dave does, and so does Mark.
Uh-huh. Some of these will let us request an exemption, so if they don't apply to our transaction, we can request an exemption. Some of them will not, like the purchase agreement will not let us, for obvious reasons, request an exemption. Let me show you how we can do one of those. Let's say we don't have a property inspection, buyer didn't want one, we're gonna request exemption.
Victoria,
Yes.
I have a client, in fact, hopefully, and they're approved, I'm gonna find out today, but he wanted to use his own person. So I actually had to check that we did not have a home inspection, but he had a friend, and that, I had recommended that he have a home inspection, but he had a friend, so I did an addendum to that effect.
Advising him to get a licensed.
That he was satisfied with the verbal.
Well, you can just do a waiver
Yeah, as long
too.
as it's.
Well, I understand that, but I wanted to make sure he knew that they knew that I had recommended. I mean,
Why
sure, you
didn't
can
you
waive
But
it.
Sign
that's on
a
the
waiver.
waiver. The waiver has that on there that you recommend.
I was just
For your
he's a
protection.
broker, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can sign our Connect waiver, showing that we offered and that he declined.
Yeah,
But see, he did have one, but it was a,
that's okay, he
Yeah.
could put that note on there. that he
well,
selected
he's
his
got
own.
a different one. He's got my addendum, that I just said he had done it with a
And signed it.
contractor friend, and that his report was
Yeah,
valid.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, we have the buyer inspection, and then Connect has one as well, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Or some, but I forget what they call it on here, but the
The
names
inspection.
don't match up.
Yeah, the checklist of all the different
Yeah.
inspections. Yeah, we have a Connect one.
What's it called though?
The
The
BIA or something?
Connect
No, the
Realty
BIW.
inspection form.
Thank God we don't have to use that anymore. It was a pain. Nobody knew that the
It was-
column on the left was for initials or anything.
Yeah.
Nobody could fill it out right.
Yeah, car forms always, we advise using the car forms over the Connect. So for time reasons here, I'm gonna request exemption on all the ones we don't wanna upload.
If you do NA, are you gonna accept that?
I'm gonna kick it back.
Or just,
That was my short answer.
Victoria, don't you guys usually like to see notes?
Yes.
Where there's an NA to explain
Absolutely.
why?
Yeah.
so just like seller,
I'm just typing something, and it won't let me request an exemption without putting some kind of reason in there.
but typically we'd put buyer, just chose not to do it.
Do you ever give them the emails that say they recline at all? or-
Yes, I highly recommend printing the emails and
Yeah.
scanning them, or just saving them and uploading them, yeah.
That's what
Email
I've been doing.
conversations.
Yeah, a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of agents won't do the FERPTAs anymore. And
They all
so,
wanna just do it through the emails, it seems like everybody.
Yeah.
Title might go to the first.
but what I'll do is I'll,
They
if
don't
an,
want
if
to
an
do that.
agent won't give me a form I asked for, I print their email that
Mhm.
showed I asked,
Yeah.
and then I upload
Showing
that.
that we're
instead of
covered.
the
Yeah.
form.
Okay, so I'm gonna clear, this is where we spend the majority of our time is uploading
Do you
documents.
use BackAgent a lot?
Yeah.
And then we have our, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna, I had a document that I loaded the other day, and I had to load it like 3 times, and for whatever reason, it was a DocuSign, and it couldn't, it looked like it was unsigned, but then.
Oh, really? And then it populated the signatures later?
I don't know, when you look, when you did view document, once you have the document in there,
Uh-huh.
you did view, you couldn't see the signatures. But
Really?
if I went to the file, I downloaded like 3 times, I got the signatures there, so they gotta see it.
But it wouldn't let you view it.
It wouldn't let me see.
It's supposed to be saving paper.
I just couldn't, I said, why is it not showing up? Yeah, because it was one that was done, well, I just copied it from DocuSign over to the file, already signed by everybody, and
So it was
For whatever
uploaded with the
reason.
signature, but you just couldn't,
yeah,
on
you
the
couldn't
little,
view, the signatures weren't viewable.
Or sometimes they're so tiny.
I don't know what the problem is, or just a
They're
different.
just usually a
I think
blue
just
color.
maybe the digital format.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
You can email right away to support, so that you will get the answer. That's what they do.
Well, they didn't
I email
reject it.
BackAgent all the time. Yeah, anytime I get like an error or a little glitch in the system, I send it over to our BackAgent support, and then their little techie guys will look into it and they'll let us know, especially if there's an error code, and that helps them out, but
Yeah.
usually they have an answer for everything. Okay, so I went through and just request exemption on a few, just to kind of clear some of those out of there. And then down here is a feature that we like to use too. We can email documents right to the file. Have any of you used this before?
Didn't know it was there.
Yeah, this is new. This is this email address here is specific to this transaction. Can't even highlight it.
So we don't have to scan,
Right
we
here.
can just email them?
Yeah, so if an agent sends you like their agent's visual and sends it to your email, instead of pulling it out of your email, saving onto your computer, uploading it to file, you can copy and paste this link right here into your webmail or your email and send it right to this file. It just sent. No, you don't need to text it. Put nothing in the body, nothing. Just send the document and it'll populate right down here. The PDF agent's visual will show up right down here. And then a button will appear and it'll say attach now, and then you can attach it and label it.
But it'll actually put it into the right area, like where
No,
you're.
it'll put it right down here. So when you go back to your file,
So then
you'll
we-
scroll down here at the bottom and it'll say, see right now it says no files, but it'll be right here, a picture, a little PDF.
But won't we have to go back still and put it in the correct area?
Yes.
So they
yes.
send us 20 disclosures. Can you still do it to the same spot?
Yeah, you can send it all here and then they'll all be like little thumbnails kind of listed, and then you can kind of send them in. Rather than saving them to your computer or combining them. I mean, if they're sending you PDF documents, combine them. You
Yeah.
have like Adobe with Adobe.
Yeah.
Combine them all together.
The free one.
Yeah.
What's the
What's that
explanation
first
of
word? I read down.
What is the what?
Where do they have the explanation?
Unassigned
On the
documents.
sign.
The explanation,
Of how to do that?
just right here. It just kind of says, use the email address above to quickly attach documents to this transaction. Each transaction has a unique email address. Only PDF attachments are accepted. The email body is not saved. Once received, please attach the document. So it'll appear right here, and then when you go into your file, you'll click on that document, and it'll say attach now, like right here. Attach now, and then you'll be able to pick of the listed titles which one it is.
That's
So it's
great.
just one more way of getting documents into the file. So if someone sends, if they're piecemealing things
How long
back
have
to
we
you.
had that?
Not very long, this is new.
Oh, yeah, I never
Mhm.
knew about that. Did
Yeah.
it, now when we get like those environmental hazard guides, do you want all 153 pages in that, in the
The
file?
report,
Yeah.
we're more concerned on the
Just the
disclosures.
signature of the
And then
front
they
page,
received it. It's good practice to have it uploaded though.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the HOA too? Oh,
Oh, are you CC ours?
Oh, you were
I
right.
have, I had a 1,200 page HOA. though.
1,200 pages?
That's ridiculous.
I didn't download
That is
it.
a lot.
Do they
Mark
want,
says like to have them sign the
The
first
top
page.
page,
Yeah,
yeah. If
Oh,
it's
the-
that many,
Yeah.
yeah, that would
ID.
take you probably weeks to upload that.
The guy
do they
couldn't,
want the owners association that's 200?
mine
Yeah,
was
have them
about
sign the top page.
10 times that size.
And upload the top page, yeah, saying that they've received it and they've read it.
Yeah, I always do that.
Yeah.
They're bad.
Make
It's
sure
not
they
bad.
read it. Yeah, make sure they sign that.
Just the front page for BackAgent.
What I would
Yeah,
probably do
have them
is
sign it
is
saying
sign
they
it and
received
date
it.
it.
Yeah, the title
Or take out
person,
the most important part, like the financial report, and the rules and regulations.
We don't want them
I
having
just got
surprises.
this today and I read it.
yeah, the title person couldn't email me, it was too big.
Yeah,
So
so
printed
then for
it
sure
and
it
handed me a
would've-
box.
Yeah.
And I just handed it to my client, so here you
Yeah,
go.
just have them
Sign
initial.
that first.
If it's like 20 pages, it's
They
okay.
need the CC.
Not
I
1,200.
don't think there's any
No.
20 pages anymore.
No. So we're gonna add a document. I'm gonna show you how to add a large document.
Well, we're supposed to be, hopefully, I hope so, but, look at all this.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's gotta go into BackAgent.
No, the CCNR, I think it doesn't go there.
CCNR.
So we're gonna click on upload a file, this green button here.
If he can ask you, then you
Oh, she
upload.
just walked out right when her question could get answered.
Oh, no. Okay, so from my computer, or drop files here. So I put my flash drive here in his lap. Find my disclosures.
Title company, please.
Computer?
Oh, title company.
It was the top one.
Stuart.
My disclosures, isn't that?
Where's my computer? Oh, right here.
Oh, she's
Let me roll this. Here's my stuff.
I
Okay. Let's upload a large file here. This is 47 pages, pretty much a whole complete file.
Yeah, that's very, very good. Very good.
Poor thing, I've had umpteen offers on this property for 10 years, I've had it listed.
Is that all?
Well,
Yeah.
finally,
Most of the time, it doesn't get, you know, they send in an offer and reject it with a counter. Do I have to send all of those into BackAgent?
The offers,
Yes.
yeah, the counter.
Are you
they should be in
serious?
there. They should be in there. I'm pretty sure John David wants to have his
Even
I
offers.
don't
if they're
even know
never
if I can
accepted?
find them anymore now.
I can ask John, or maybe Mark might know how
Only the
many.
ones that pertain to the final sale, right?
That's what I would think, but they
Yeah.
Well,
want
they
every,
want
to the sale.
everything that ever comes across, you know, like I said, I probably have had 10 or 20 of them
oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
in 10 years.
It's not
Oh, wow.
unusual to get 20 offers on a property that you've got listed, and
Well, especially in REO.
and if you only have this, I mean, if obviously one buyer, what happens to the other 19? Are we supposed to upload those?
No.
No,
I wouldn't think so.
whatever the best
Oh, I thought
offer.
you said we had to.
Yeah.
If they're not,
They're not
Accepted.
viable, they haven't been accepted.
oh, yeah. I mean, we can double check with John David to see what,
I keep them for
I
like
do
3
too,
years.
but I just, you know, like I said, I've got them in a file here, and a file there, and a file there. For 10 years.
oh, we're trying to upload our
I
47
was
page
just
document.
thinking,
Yeah,
oh,
I
wow, I
got it.
just
Burn
dumped
my
out a
house
bunch of sitting there off.
I
Nobody
didn't
see
say
that.
that.
And I had a robbery, everything was stolen, they all wanted my files. Sorry.
Okay. Let's open our little file. Let me add one more document here.
What's the flip pages mean?
It's only 47.
Flip it.
Ah.
That's the right side.
Rotate. Oh, it doesn't say rotate pages.
Ah.
You're gonna add one to the 47s?
Yeah, I'm gonna have one more in the
Attach another
document.
file?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's
Sit
got-
here for a while. It's hardwired though, right? Or are we on wireless?
I think he hardwired.
Did he?
Well, I didn't see it, so I'm.
Oh, yeah, he is. That's what they did. Oh,
No,
no.
it's when I'm down the street.
Come on. These are fun documents.
Offers that are rejected. Yeah, I've had like 3 or 4, you know, counters and all of that going back and forth, so.
Yeah, whatever the latest counter, you know, if you know, put a little counter.
What's the difference in the price ranges down there compared to up here?
And then all
Pretty
you-
big
there's a
difference.
question
They're
where they
high,
get
Yeah,
okay.
oh,
they're high.
counter
Depends
over.
on the
Like
area.
what
So just
Stockton
put
is
the final.
compared
Yeah,
to here?
because I don't.
I'm not sure what
I have
Stockton's
no
like.
idea where all
Pretty
these others are.
Is it?
They're all in
Yeah, I
Florida,
mean,
but
and there's different
I
parts
guess
of
we're only with the
down Southern
final.
California. And like North County, San Diego tends to be kind of pricey, more expensive anywhere on the beach, anywhere that can see the water. Anything that can see the ocean view. I mean,
Uh-huh.
some of those are pretty pricey, but the further east you go away from the water, the cheaper the
To the
prices are.
desert.
Yeah.
So
Just keep
it's
going.
It's also the earthquake fault too.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the desert will be beachfront. Just, you gotta tell your clients that, man.
Yeah. So like I said,
We
we
just
might
gotta
sell like
wait.
a couple houses every few months.
Someday it might be.
Yeah. Alright, now let's select our,
We really have the best weather though.
yeah,
I've lived in Indiana and Montana and
California's nice.
Alright, unfortunately, I have to take off.
Oh, likely story.
Not having enough fun?
Sorry. Are you in Texas then?
I'm
Or you're
in
here?
Southern California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. But we're trying to make it a routine where I can come up at least once a month for our Sacramento agents. So,
Okay.
yeah. All right, so.
and drive. Did you have to drive or fly?
I drove this time. Last time I flew, I drove this time just so I can visit some family too over the weekend. So that was really nice.
So you're taking that now, where are you gonna add that, at the first or the end or in the middle?
So this, I just clicked on the thumbnail. It's going to show
Right.
me what it is. It's my home warranty waiver here.
Okay,
And then it puts us in this little view panel up here.
right,
And I'm going to click create a document.
right. So it's at the front of the document?
Mm-hmm.
You wanna
Well,
do
it's
that?
just one document, it's just one page.
You can only put
No, I
one
know
page in
that
there
is,
at a
but
time,
then you're
right?
gonna add it to the other one.
No, I'm gonna do this one separate. They're all gonna be separated out. We're gonna split all of them.
Oh, I thought you were gonna add another document to that 47 document file.
Yeah, that one's just separate.
Okay.
So this is our inspection form, so we're gonna upload it there. And then this is gonna ask us, it's notifying us, telling us that we have more pages that we haven't used. So those other 47 pages, it's telling us we haven't used yet. So we're gonna save and add another. If we click save and quit, it will exit out like we're done, and we'll walk away. We're gonna click add another.
But you can only do one file at a time, right? I mean, one, like the CR.
Yeah.
I mean, even though 47, you just pull out a couple pages
Yeah,
that you need.
so we're
put
going
it
through
where
like
it needs
page
to
at
be.
a time.
Alright,
Mhm.
I'm all good. I really can't find out how to do all documents on a CD.
Good thing we got that done first.
Well, thanks, guys.
Alright,
Have
take
fun.
care. Okay. So then it'll pull up all our thumbnails here. And then we'll just go and start uploading our documents. So this is for your protection code home inspection. So we're gonna add this document. It's a single page, and we're gonna create a document. And we'll type in the search field here for your protection, and then we'll find it here. You can either scroll down that whole list and try to find that orange highlighted item, or just type in the search field.
learn something.
Yeah, I told you all about convenience. And then we'll just keep repeating this process until we've used up all of those thumbnails. But just for sake of time, I don't wanna.
The thumbnails were telling you what documents you needed, is that correct?
They're letting us view them. Yeah, they're letting us view the documents that we upload. So this was like our.
Oh,
like
these
a
have already been uploaded.
This is our whole file
Okay.
that we scanned to our computer, and now we're just splitting out the pages because they're all scanned together. So now we're splitting them out and putting them under those labeled items. So like our purchase agreement, is it right here? This one we know is 8 pages, so we're going to add. And that's 8, right? Just to make sure.
That looked like that one flew
Okay.
up twice.
Alright, so now you'll notice I have all my 8 pages. See, you can't really see what they are up here because they're so small. That's why we had this little view panel here. So I got my 8 pages there, and I'm going to create a document. So now that's going to be one single document. And like I said, instead of scrolling all the way down trying to find the purchase agreement, I like to just type them right here. And it pulls it up for us. And now we know that one's done. And like I said, we just repeat the process until we've gone through all those pages, and then our whole file will be uploaded.
All those pages have been scanned in before, correct?
Yeah, I have it saved on this little flash drive here that I plugged into his computer here. So it's just our test file. Okay, so then it takes us back. So it shows us what pages we've already used.
Probably only take me a month.
It takes a while at first, but like the more you get used to it, the faster you kind of move through it.
Too bad I don't have a sale every month.
If your scanner's not working, can you email it to one of those flash drives, or is there any way that you can do something like that, or?
Yeah, you can, if your scanner's not, yeah, and you have them saved on your computer somewhere. Uh-huh. Yeah, you can save them to your computer or a flash drive. Yeah, definitely. You don't have to print scan, especially if you're using like DocuSign. You don't have to print them at all.
I have to play
Yeah.
with it and read it because I haven't been on
Okay,
it.
so this will be our advisory, buyer's advisory.
I put
And we'll just do a
stuff
couple more here.
in earlier
Top.
when we listed it this last time.
Save and quit.
but Ellen helped me, so I.
So that's pretty much the gist of it. You guys understand, like you're just basically going through and trying to find the pages here to upload. Let me take us back here. Kind of slow.
How long does it take you to upload all that stuff? You don't do it all at once anyway, right?
No, well, if you got all the documents signed and everything, so if it's asking you right there,
Yeah.
or there's the oranges, all you do just upload the whole thing.
And you scanned them all in.
Yeah.
So that's how we would upload like a large document. Now we can also upload, this is the third way, is if you go ahead and try to find that label document. Say we have our REO advisory and we want to upload just that document. You can click on this required now and attach your document this way.
You have to scan everything, you can't just fax them, correct?
No.
Fax them to like
Scan.
yourself?
No,
It's
to
scanning.
BackAgent, I said you can't, you
Oh,
have to
right.
scan everything, you cannot fax,
No.
correct?
And I'll just upload just some kind of random pages here just so we can kind of get through those.
It was the old fashioned way, fax everything.
Yeah, well, that's something.
I know nobody faxes anymore.
Well, I still do, I'm sorry.
I use my e-fax a lot, but nobody ever faxes like our hard line in the office.
Really?
Mm-mm.
I'm the only one.
Well,
Yeah,
you
nobody
need
ever
some
faxes.
month, just
No,
leave
you're
it
not
for
the only one, I
different
use
card.
faxes.
I use fax all the time.
Yeah, so that at least in one sitting.
And,
you have all the
RIJ.
documents.
Quickly here.
Housing
Just we know which
Association, they
one
fax.
you really need.
So,
Did you give me a card this time?
I never give you that.
No, you didn't.
No.
All right, I'll have to call you and tell me.
How many do we have? Like
to
maybe
do
like
my
10
back
documents
end.
left? And save. We're just gonna assume these are the correct disclosures here. Okay, we have 12 documents left, so we'll just go down. We'll exempt this one just to kind of move forward here.
Yeah, but you're probably not gonna have all 12, are you? You're gonna have the
I'll just-
HUD one?
No, you don't need that before you submit anyways.
I
And
understand.
and you don't need the walkthrough either.
Yeah, right.
But just for a test file here, we're just gonna pretend like we have everything.
So is it that we have to put in that blank page in the HUD?
Like a filler
A
page?
filler page?
Yeah,
Okay. Just so that we
yeah,
can
because we're
hit
not
submit.
gonna hold up a commission because we don't have a final head. That's always gonna come after closing anyways.
But we have to put in the filler page.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, see?
So in other words, to get a paycheck, you have to have all this filled in correctly.
Yeah, see, this system, that's why I'm kind of uploading just kind of documents here, because we're not allowed to submit until all these documents have been uploaded in the system. It's not gonna have, this will highlight orange for us once the file, or once the transaction is complete.
Why did they put submit after the post-closing? It seems to me like submit should be up there on the crossbar. The submit should be before post-closing. You would think that would be last, after.
To submit the
closing.
file?
So,
Oh,
you
like
know,
the
if
phase?
Yeah, you can always try, it will come back anyway.
It confused me, I remember the first time.
Oh, we did this one.
Why would they have post-closing before submit?
Right here?
Yeah,
This is for, like after our
After
funding.
the post is in.
Yeah.
I understand that, but submit is for funding.
Oh, I see what you mean, like these should be reversed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, if you're kind of looking at the phases.
Yeah. I'm looking for logic.
Yeah. All right, so we'll just do these last few documents here, and then we'll work on our funding request. And that's where we'll be entering our commission and any referrals, payouts, wire fees. We like all our agents to table fund though. And I think it's the only way our agents should be paid. So as long as we have a complete file uploaded, everybody should be table funding all their deals.
So
Why do
what
they
do you
give you
mean by
choice? What's the reason?
table funding?
Well,
What
if
does
the
that
agent
term
doesn't
mean?
have a complete file, then funds will have to be sent to Connect Realty, and then Connect will pay the agent out. And some agents want to have their commission wired to them. They don't want hard checks, so they'll choose to have their funds wired. So it's just agent's preference, but I think table funding is the fastest method to be paid. So I highly recommend it.
So what do you mean by table funding again?
Just,
Explain that to me.
Check cut at escrow.
Oh,
Check
right
cut at
there in escrow,
Uh-huh.
and then you get your
That
check
goes
right
to the
there.
broker.
No, they will cut the check from the book.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, they'll
if-
split the broker's funds from yours, and you
Right,
pick
then you
yours up,
just
or they'll
get
split
your check and the
Uh-huh.
broker gets his.
And you're done.
All right,
Yeah.
Once you get everything's clear, then you can cut
they
your
call
check.
that table funding?
Table funding. And then they call the standard funding, is basically just to have funds sent to Connect, and then Connect will pay you. So when, like I said, if the agent wants to be wired, or they want Connect to mail them a check.
So how far in advance do you have to tell them about which kind of funding you need or want, or? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, at
See, I've never
least,
had a transaction yet, that's the company.
at least 48 hours before closing, just to give everyone time to review the file, and have the funder send out the commission demand. And everybody's got turn times, and everyone's are 24 to 48 hours, but I know like compliance, we're under 24 hours. So we get those reviewed pretty fast. Yeah. All right, we're almost done here with these documents.
December was a real mess up.
December. The winter months.
Is there people you can talk to if you have questions?
Mhm.
Call me support,
Support?
Yep.
or you can call Lisa.
Or you can call me.
Yeah, we
And
can
walk
call
you through it. absolutely.
Do you have a card?
Yeah. Yeah, we had some new agents earlier in the other branch this morning, and they were like pretty new to Connect. And so I said, you know, if you ever get stuck on anything or you don't know how to do something, just call me directly. We can walk through it on the phone, you know, step by step. Yeah, real simple. And like I said, once you are kind of in there moving around, things get easier and you'll be able to navigate through it faster. But a lot of agents who use TCs, you know, their TCs are doing a lot of this work for them. So if they fire their TC or something, they got to do this on their own, then they're calling me like, I don't know how to do all this, you know. So it's good to know just kind of how to do it. And if you're at home working from home and you want to log in and update some things and you don't want to send to your TC, then you know how to do it. So it really benefits everyone.
I really like my TC, Matt Beck. He's up on the laws and everything. He's
Yeah,
good.
it's great. Alright, I know this is the boring part here. Almost got all our docs in here.
Do you do it by yourself or do you have a TC?
Hmm?
Do you have a TC or do you do it yourself?
No, I hired my PC, but, you know, he's lazy, so I just do it myself. So at least I know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's better to be
Better to
involved.
know, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. We're almost
but
there.
if you're a busy person already.
Two dots
Well,
left.
they don't have time, but I have plenty of time,
Yeah.
so.
Okay, so our prelim and our earnest money.
I feel like it has, you have more control,
If
and
you
if
do
you
it,
know
yeah.
it,
Yeah.
everything is required, you have a better idea of what's going on in your
Yeah.
file if you do it yourself.
So I PC myself, all my friends,
Nothing wrong with that.
I started, but I just haven't finished it, so.
Yeah. And it's good to, like, as you're working, you know, with the clients, and as things are kind of coming in from the other agents, to just add the document when you get it. That way we're not, you know, scanning our 30 pages and uploading them right at the very end, you know.
Yeah, they don't take an email, correct? You have to scan everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it has to be in PDF format.
No.
All right, so delete this
But
stuff.
any documents from the buyer, because sometimes, you know, the agent from the other side doesn't perform, so you send them 2 email, then attach that email, okay, I cannot get this form to the other agent, so I attach my email, that's it.
Okay, so we're ready to submit. So all our documents are in there.
Do you know how to download it to a disk?
I've never done it myself.
This one right here, this little button with the,
She didn't scan these documents in, she put them on the disk. So you don't have to scan necessarily. You
yeah,
don't have a scanner on your printer.
I don't have a scan.
Okay. Then this
You
is
can
something you
scan
can
it
do.
over here.
Yeah, I know.
like to give them to your clients. Yeah, by clicking this button, it's gonna put them in a zip file. So all your documents will be in that zip file, and like we were saying, you can kind of delete the ones that you don't want in there.
Yeah.
So that was that button that he was talking about.
Okay,
Remember I was
that's
asking,
where
like, does it have a little floppy disk in it? Make sure that's the one he was
Oh,
talking about
that's
right
the
now.
one
And then
you're
when you
talking
click
about, that
on,
brown
so
one?
when you click on that, it gives you the opportunity to put on there what you want?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here.
Perfect.
Click on
Oh
this
yeah,
one.
here, right here, a zip file, which is like a condensed. So
Okay,
here's
so it
all
shows
our
them.
items.
Okay.
Here's all our things that we have
Oh,
here.
perfect.
And these are all a PDF. So if we wanted to delete some, we can just click on them and delete them.
If you open them up and saw that just had one
Right-click it.
signature on, but the other
Right,
one had 2,
right.
yeah.
So you can kind of, that's what we were saying, like kind of pick and choose what we can send to them.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, what do you put stuff on his laptop here? Okay, so we're ready to submit our file for compliance to review it. So all our documents are in there, everything's signed. So we're gonna click submit. Remember, like I said, that won't highlight until all those items are in the file. So now we can submit. Get it reviewed and get paid.
So do we still
Yeah, that
have
was
the,
nice. I just, you know, they called and said, yeah, it's recorded, and then they said, I called the time company, says, yeah, you can come down tomorrow afternoon
Pick
and
up your
pick it up. So I went down, picked up the key out of the lockbox and drove right down, picked up my check, and
Nice.
yeah.
That's how they all should be.
When I was from out of town, I called him, said, I got the key, let me know when you're coming into town. And,
Absolutely.
yeah, so it was good.
Okay, so we're ready to submit our file. Now it's asking us to create the funding request. So we're gonna click create request. And this will be where I was saying we're gonna be entering our like commission information. So this is like all the information is gonna be on the commission demand going to escrow. So we'll put escrows. numbers in here, and those demands will be emailed. We'll just say email@gmail.com. Okay. In this field where we're going to enter escrow escrow number. So this is our gross commission on our side only. So we'll say it's, I'll just put it 5,000 commission. Broker split, so if I'm on a 70% commission plan, I'll put in my 30% here to connect. And there's no transaction fee, and then I'll put in our 125 E&O. So that'll go there. So if I enter these figures, this up here will adjust according to what I enter. So we'll say I put in my, my broker split, it's going to adjust. Okay, if we have any referrals that need to be paid out, if we're paying the other agent, we're going to enter those here, and we can enter those as other. If there's contributions or credits that we're crediting back to our buyer for, say, the home warranty, $300 credit for buyer's home warranty, we're going to enter that
Out
there.
of your check.
So let's enter like we'll say 200. We're going to credit him $200, and it automatically puts his name there. That was our buyer, John Smith. And this number is getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, we know that.
That's reality.
Right, so any payouts. And other, if we wanted to have our funds wired to us, like from Connect, like I was saying, if we have the gross funds going to Connect for whatever reason, and we want our check wired to us, we put in a wire fee here. And the wire fee for Connect is $8.
That wires it right to your bank.
Yeah.
Right to your bank account.
It's better to wire than
Yeah,
mail.
the last company I was with had 95.
We put it in the next
TC
one,
fees can be entered here as
send it
well.
1 week.
Basically anything that's going to be coming out of your
It's
commission.
better to direct deposit.
Is that okay?
You got it.
That's blurry.
It is.
So how much did you get total?
Well, I didn't enter a 30% split here, I just put random numbers, but
Oh,
looks like I'm making like half. Okay, so we're going to create our funding. Yeah, they're not accurate. So we're going to create our funding request. That's our last step here. Okay,
And
so
then
top
there's
of
something
here
comes
is
on your
created.
flashing on your computer if you didn't get your stuff in there.
Yeah.
I got a few of those.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so now we're ready to submit our transaction. It's going to be asking us to verify these questions, yes or no. These should all be yes. Asking if everything's correct and verified, all our contact information, phone numbers, these should all be yes. Our documents are all separated and attached and labeled correctly, yes. Signed and executed. And our disbursement preference within the notes section. So, if we're table funding, it says we may table fund with broker approval, so meaning that this file is going to be submitted, reviewed by compliance, and approved. Once it's approved for our table fund, then we don't have to worry about it. The demand will go to escrow from the system. But if we're going to be receiving a wire, like we enter that wire fee in there, it's going to want us to make sure that we enter our bank information into the notes section. Because Connect's not going to know where to wire what bank you bank at without you entering that information, so it's real
You
important.
already put that in your own, where you're way back in the plan, under my accounts, you've got all that stuff.
Well, that's in the CMS, and it's not linked to this, so it's not going to be able to save.
But why not? It links everything else.
I know.
Well, yeah, but some of us don't want to do that.
Yeah, and some agents want, they'll have it go into different bank accounts or to their company, whatever, but
I
I'll show
understand.
you where.
I just couldn't understand.
Yeah, so that they were linked. So this is going to ask us if we want our table funding, we want to be paid at closing, which is the preferred method, or if we want that standard funding, we want the funds to go to Connect and then we pay. Well, we want a table fund, so we're going to select this option. And we're ready to submit. And we click Submit Transaction. And it tells us to allow up to 2 days for compliance to review. And like I said, we're under 24 hours right now anyways. So we get those reviewed as fast as we can and get those demands out. So now your status is going to be saying, waiting for document approval. And so we'll wait to hear from our compliance department to make sure that everything has been signed and everything's complete and we've approved it.
If you said yes on all those and there wasn't actually all correct, they would tell you.
On those yes or no?
They'll email you, I tell you. They let you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, once the file is in the compliance queue, compliance will review it. And then when we're reviewing those documents, it will deny the ones that need to go back. So, RPA, page 8 denied because missing the other brokerage
Tell you what's
information.
missing.
Right, missing a signature. So then we'll put in our reason in there, we'll send it back to you, which will allow you to fix it, and then you'll submit that document back, and then we can approve it.
I even had a duplex that didn't appraise, and they came back to me and said, we don't have the paperwork to get
Oh.
paid. And I said, so I emailed and let them know, well, it didn't appraise, so the bank wouldn't fund on it, so our buyers would go for something else. So that was, it was upsetting. They still kept it on the market for the higher price.
Right.
You want that price.
Right.
If you have to send it back to them.
This is that notes and history section I was telling you about.
Because you can put out one page right
We
there.
click
Is
on
that
that
right in
tab.
there?
In print.
This is in the transaction, notes and history, on the far right. So click on the tab. We use this tab a lot.
And that legal class that Connect had there, they said that was the best thing to do, the emails. They said that was.
Oh, conversation logs?
For conversation log. He said,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Keep track of
I hope
everything.
they do that again.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good.
Oh, yeah. They want to see like timelines. They want to see conversations, emails, everything.
Right.
Because there's no such thing as verbal agreements.
No,
And clients
not
get
even,
amnesia, they
not
forget,
even
oh, you
in
never said that.
rentals,
Yeah.
nothing, yeah.
Everything documented. Click on this, did I? What's the-
And there's that little fine line that they can still come back and say, no, I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Everything on an addendum. Taking a while here.
Judge Judy, huh?
Yeah. Exactly. It's been a while to pull up our notes button here.
Well, why I started using Beck is because I had to lock out a tenant. And then my husband wasn't available, and so he had some business to take care of. And so I was, all of a sudden this thing came up, he had to go pass a test for something he had. And so my son and I went up there and the sheriff was there. And that was
no.
quite a thing to go through to have, and I had a lawyer and everything, but the sheriff had told them that they had to get everything out. I drove up there and I couldn't believe it. Everything was out all in the yard. And then and then I talked to the sheriff, and then I decided, I said, when the sheriff left, I said, look, I'll give you the rest of the day to get the rest of your stuff out. I don't want to have, because I knew, I didn't tell him that, because I thought if I told him I'd have to pay for storage, that they would, and I said, no, go ahead and take it all out, I'll let you take it all out. So they moved it out, and so that's when I started with Matt, because I had a couple things going, and so I called, they had this other girl working there, Laura, or what was her name? Anyway, and so that's what I did. I kept doing my sale and still cleaning up the rental and being back and forth there. And Wheatland's a long way to drive from up here, down here. So I had okay to get my TC going, and I was still doing my sale and doing my cleaning, scrubbing, seeing that was done legally. And then they tried to park and stay there.
Oh,
And
no.
I called the sheriff and I said, look, they've got their trailer here and they've got it plugged in. And I think what they're going to do is think that, what do they call that? Well, they have a legal right to stay there. What's that word? Squatter.
Yeah.
Right?
The legal term.
So I just,
Legal jargon.
it's like I go wow. So that's how I started using the TC. I had to do,
Yeah.
if you have to have stuff done.
Being a realtor, you guys have a hard job. Okay, we have a little, looks like our server went down for a
That's your
second there.
communication.
Yeah, this is our notes and history section here in the file, and every file will have this. And it timestamps everything that we've done to this file. So all the way down here from the time that we created it, transaction created, on this day at this time, and it tells me who did it. So any changes that are done by
Oh,
anyone.
it's even got your picture.
Yeah, there I am. Yeah, it's got It's got everything timestamped.
So if they
so
got
every
somebody
document
else
is
in there, that their picture
Well,
would-
this should be you. It should be
Okay.
your picture if it's your file.
No, I know, but I'm saying, if that should happen, if somebody else's face
Uh-huh.
would be, all of a sudden it'd be,
Yeah, so if our funder logs into this file, it'll
Uh-huh.
have her picture there, her name, and it'll tell us what she did.
oh, okay.
Or our accountant, or
Alright.
anyone that, yeah. Any of our staff that logs in, or Mark logs into your file, it'll say Mark logged in on this day, at this
Okay.
time, and
It'll show
reviewed,
it's
approved,
him.
denied,
Okay.
whatever we did to the file, it'll all be logged in
They
there.
show that person that's logging in at that
Uh-huh.
time.
Yeah, so
Okay.
everything's, so we can see when your transaction was created, so if you have a listing, so,
Once you have that, don't you want to?
yeah, if you wanna add a note, we can click on this button
No,
here.
I'm talking about downloading it or keeping it part of the history.
After we've submitted it,
Uh-huh.
so the next, so right now it's in file review, so the next step would be compliance would approve it. So it'll say, the next thing that'll be on there, say it's complete, it'll say table funding approved.
Okay.
And then the next thing after that will show your CDA has gone out by our funding department. Because once it comes out of compliance, we approve it, it goes over to our funding department in Texas. And they send out the commission man, and a copy of your demand will be right there in that note section. And it'll say on what day, what time, and to whom it was sent to. So it'll have your escrow officer's email address there.
So what happens of the whole history part of it after the fact? After your transactions are
It'll also
complete?
be there.
It'll be part of the transaction?
This is all part of the file. So if we want to add a note, please wire my funds. I'm going to enter my bank name, account number, and routing number.
Oh, that's where I was.
That's
Uh-huh.
easy enough.
I use the part on the funding request, that little box
Mhm.
down there, that's where I put it.
And we'll probably catch it if we see it in there, but it's really good to put it here because
Okay.
we all see this. 'Cause when we log into the file, we're looking at all the notes. You know, a lot of times our agents put in, crediting so-and-so, or have a referral to go out. We're looking for that referral agreement. So we're looking at everything, and the more places that you enter it, the better it is, because more eyes are seeing it, So this is where I'm going to put if I wanted it to be wired to me. I'm going to enter my bank name, account number, and routing number. Or any note that you want to enter in here.
Now, so how long do these referral agreements last? Do you know anything about that, or would I have to call?
Well, they're generally for the transaction.
No, but I'm seeing like, what if that person that you referred it to never did write up the listing or anything?
Nothing
and
ever
those
happened.
people have called you, and you already thought, okay, she didn't contact them. Did she call you? Did she do anything? No. So then, how would you handle that? Just call and say, I'm canceling this referral, because that way they can't come back and say, no, you referred that to me.
Right, you
You
owe
know,
me
as
that
a-
referral.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, this could be.
Right,
the
there's no like
legal-
time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, of course, when you're doing the referral, we should write in there, it should be closed within a certain amount of time, or?
Is
Yeah, I
there
think
a, is there
I
a,
think
like a
the
term
referral, you
section
have
on
to
there?
fill it up from the broker's info sheet. Once you started the whole thing, if you got a referral, you have to put everything right there.
I can't remember what we did.
Then you submit that one, because the basis where you can get your commission until you will do the CDA.
But
at
I'm
the
talking
end.
about something that never happened.
You're talking about the actual referral agreement?
I actually
form.
put in a referral to somebody to do a short sale, and she actually sent a package to them, but then they decided that they were going to rent, but then she never did come back to them or double check to see anything. So they called me and said, no, we haven't done anything. So, now they
Yeah,
might
like
come
there's
back
no,
and
like-
say, I don't know, what,
Like no formal cancellation or anything?
yeah, that's,
Maybe like maybe a broker-to-broker call too,
yeah.
things like that. I mean, if you do the referral, you do the referral,
Yeah.
whatever time frame they take to, get it closed or whatnot.
If you're
Yeah,
not a
anything like that,
broker-
I recommend
If you're not
broker-to-broker
a
calls.
broker of the referral, agent,
Yeah.
then you can call the broker.
Yeah.
That's it. Because you're gonna put the.
Well, that was me.
Yeah, but,
We can have our broker call their broker.
And Mark,
She's right in Connect, so I don't know.
Oh, it's a Connect agent?
Maybe I should go back
Put
in
on
our
this
back
room,
file.
Marty.
Maybe we could find it. So.
Yeah, we can look into it for sure.
I think
Oh, thank you.
it's probably back in my files.
We can, yeah, you're able to look at all your, if you go to your transaction tab here,
Uh-huh.
you can look at all your archived files, all your closed files.
Well, how,
Right here,
will it
files.
show archive?
These are all your every closed file will be right here in the.
If it did close though.
Or if it canceled, or if it was a cancellation, it'll be in there as well.
Or if they didn't put a cancellation, it's still floating out there.
Yeah, if it's still just in the system, it'll still be in there, unless somebody deleted it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, who treated us? Thank you.
I know the sweet treats. One to go over was, the calendar here. This calendar down here was based on those dates that we were entering earlier. It's gonna tell us, our closing date. So I think I put on the 13th here. And you can sync your calendar in with like your smartphone. So they will have like alerts to go out, so you can kind of keep track of what's going on. So if you have multiple transactions going on, you got all these different dates in here, highlighted, closing tomorrow, closing in 2 days. Call my client, remind them of our closing in a few days. You can set up little reminders in our calendar. So they're really helpful. To keep on track, especially for the busy agents who've got a lot going on. Have to stay organized.
And how do you do that? How do you see it?
There's, I
Give me
think
a
if we
call.
go, I have
You
never
guys
done
can
it to
remember
my
it.
phone, but there's a step-by-step here. It'll walk us through. Let me see if
I
I
can
can
find
start.
it, Maria.
Yeah, if we click on, you know what, I think it's in one of these here. Go to the office, and our documents here, and this is where we have all of our saved documents, so our commission plan, maybe under this tech support, let's see.
Oh, they have tech support.
And all kinds of stuff.
There it is.
Well, I don't remember having that before.
The tech support, yeah, there's a few documents in here. And in that, there's some learning resources in here. Go through here. It's FAQs, tutorials.
How did you get to this?
In the Office tab at the very top of your screen,
All right.
click Office and then click on Documents.
Okay.
And then we're in the Learning Resources
It might be
tab.
under notices. You know, we got as far as calendar.
Yeah, it's in here
Under,
somewhere.
right over there on the right.
Oh,
No, up we have documents and go across to
Oh, right
notices. Yeah, see if that is.
like
would
our
show up on the
office.
calendar.
Our
That's
office
not-
notices, yeah.
Well, I just think.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of a little far.
Let me go back to my transaction.
Word.
There.
But once you open your computer, you'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they got videos, like for your new recruits, they have videos in there too. Might be right here, view calendar.
No, there you go.
Looks more familiar.
Now, is that the calendar you create or?
This is my calendar in BackAgent, so there's a lot in here. I mean, there's gonna be like office trainings and stuff that connect posts, those will be in here. See, it says roundtable discussion,
And
10
it also
a.m.
shows your closing dates.
Is this our round
Connect
table?
Realty meeting at 10 a.m. This
Yeah.
is your guys' 10 a.m. meeting that you do, the
All
Connect one.
Thursdays.
Those are all in here too. See, they're highlighted office,
Second.
it's kind of like a brown
Second
color.
and fourth
But these red ones are my
Is
transactions.
it at 9:30 or 10?
So will it tell you when your loan contingency's up, if you put it in there?
For 17 days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah, I think it's right here. Got that one we're looking for. Okay, yeah.
There it
To
is.
set it up, or whatever kind of phone or system you're using, if you want to sync it with your Outlook, if you guys use Outlook a lot, I know a lot of agents do, and they use it on their phones, so you can sync your calendars right into it, so you can see it when you're out in the field,
Oh, wow.
right in your hand.
We can go that
So
exists.
can't forget. We have no excuses. Yeah, so that's a fun little tool.
So,
And we can add events
in
too.
our phones, I just got my new ones, because I already, so you'd say it can hook up for Microsoft Office?
Like sync, you can sync
Oh,
to
can
it.
it?
Mhm.
Oh.
You can set up your email so you can receive your emails on your phone too.
Uh,
Your connect emails, and that was in that setup email that we were looking at in the tech support.
Yeah, but I didn't want to, because I don't want to be doing it too much on the phone. I want to stay away from the phone while I'm driving.
Yeah, it's easy to look down when you hear those little alerts go off for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I just die a couple times when I hear that on the TV, that somebody
Yeah,
died because of the
yeah.
taxi.
That's why we have those laws. Transaction forms under that documents tab, that's where we have a lot of our disclosures posted to, if you guys can use.
So do we still use a lot of those Connect Realty disclosure?
They're in here, but we're
Yeah.
using all the car forms. We got away from those and we're using all the car forms
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
But I mean, we have them in here if you wanted to use them.
That just happened then.
just
Yeah,
recently.
I did
Okay.
this
Yeah,
year.
but there's some good forms in there.
There is a lot of
Farmers
good
and
forms. I mean,
that,
there's some that kind of pertain to different, you know, lots and window bars. If your property had window bars, there's a lot of good disclosures in there, just kind of tailored to the actual property.
Oh, really, if they have something special, huh?
Yeah, they got short sale disclosures in here. There's a lot of letters in here to clients. You can just type in their information, so like a generic letter, you know.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there's a lot in here. There's a lot in here.
Where's the letters to, for clients?
Let's
You
see
just type
here.
that.
I think that one's under.
They have client marketing materials, so they have
Oh,
letters
yeah.
that are
I think
pre-made in
it's in
there.
this one here, client marketing.
Oh, is that the
Material.
client
I just put
marketing?
together a really nice package for clients.
Letters to clients, yeah. So if you go to documents, then go to client marketing material.
He gives you a nice letter there too.
Oh, the
You
letterhead's
get
all
to choose your
pre-printed.
letter,
with
Yeah,
the colors
and
and
you get
the-
choices,
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 different
How many
choices.
have to go into back?
Yeah, all our logos are in there.
Yeah, never.
And then you'll just see
I
your
put
letters to
together a nice
clients.
little package,
See
I
what
found
I
out
was
the
thinking
guy
about
across
is
the street from my
printing
house that I
up
just
something.
sold, he's moving, and so I
And
put
then
together a
handwriting
nice little
it with that
package of that.
letterhead.
Oh, yeah.
Introducing
Yeah, can you
myself,
like the verbiage?
Will it
like
allow
moving
Oh,
me?
yeah.
tips,
'Cause all our
like that, and I
agencies
put it together in a little
Oh.
package.
That was in back
I found it all in
Yeah.
there.
So there's like an introduction
Yeah.
letter,
All you
this
do
is
is
your
print it.
home,
Yeah, it was very nice.
confirmation, a thank you letter,
Learned something new.
a couple of
That's what it
advice,
came.
ones for previous
I have
contacts,
not played enough with
prospective.
this.
There's a
You
lot,
gotta have
for
the
sale by
time to do
owners,
it.
So like
follow up,
prospective would be the one you would want to get new
Mhm.
leads.
prospective client, relist your home with me. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Thank you for the referral. We've got a lot of things in here that.
You
we
have
can use.
postcards? Like, I just sold something or
Postcards?
whatever, yeah. You have clip art, huh?
That's where I find all that. There's so much stuff in here.
Well, I was looking for that and
Moving
didn't find it. I was in the wrong
That's what I
place.
included in my package.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're moving, so.
I think there's stuff in here on
Nice.
staging and listing presentations, all kinds of
Where did
things.
you, which one, where did you get that now?
Under letter.
This one's under,
Client letter.
yeah, let me go
Client
back here.
marketing.
Client marketing material.
Office documents.
A lot of things in here our agents can use. Okay.
Some
So
clip art
here's all,
there.
clip art, here's all the letters, marking the listings, the letterheads. This is directed for sellers, information for sellers. This one's for buyers, depending on who you represent. in the clip art.
And if you have the letterhead, you can cut and paste the letter.
Yeah,
Just
here,
write
I'll
it.
show you. I think I like this one. Yeah, I think that one's like this. The curved
Yeah, it
tops.
is. Yeah.
That one's my favorite, but it's supposed to be in color.
Oh, it's,
It's green.
doesn't come in
Oh,
color.
it's right down
Yeah,
here.
they-
No, it's in
yeah,
color,
color.
yeah. I printed mine in black and white just because these are my little
It
guidelines.
saves a little bit
Yeah.
of cartridges.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Yeah, so definitely check out the document section and this learn section. For like your new agents that come on, like I said, all our tutorials are in there, our videos,
I know,
how
I
to create the
was
transaction.
told that they were there, but I.
Oh, this one's a little bit, this one's a little bit.
It's that time.
When you get home,
It's
you
pretty
like
nice.
to open it.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that pretty?
I like to
I-
print it out,
That's nice,
read
huh?
it, rather than
I don't
just.
think you'd want to take
Yeah.
that
I
to
can't make the
cheap
clock
house.
stop.
You want to-
Why not? Oh, I am.
you know,
Oh,
that's it.
today,
Yeah. That's pretty much the
I hate
overview.
to
Is there
sit
anything
there
else I
and read
missed
at
or
that
you guys have
computer
questions
all
on?
day.
You're gonna fall
Does that
asleep.
help?
Yeah.
Yeah, so really I like the calendar and the documents, the learning resources. I mean, those are really big things that we can
Yes,
all
I
play
would
around
love-
with.
How about telephone?
Well, yeah, it's
Oh,
not,
yeah, right, some
it's, we gotta get business going.
Mhm.
I do.
Well, here we go. Let's get on the marketing
Anyone
material.
need a little more treats?
I got lots.
She's got sweet treats.
It's Ellen and South.
Yeah, I did. I brought Ellen's,
Yes, please.
I brought Ellen's stuff. Here you go.
Yeah, if you guys have questions or if you get stuff, then
Thank
just
you.
give me
I
a
can
call.
call you.
You know, we can walk through it over the phone and all things. These are treats.
I got
Got
I
yes
have that
before you
sweet
leave.
tooth, and then you know it's bad. It is bad.
I used to be
Just wait for
slim.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a 5-year-old son that I chase around like crazy too.
Oh.
It keeps me very fast once they get going.
Thank you.
How come no picture?
Nah.
This is our Valentine's
That's
gift.
your
I'll just draw like a little stick figure on
Yeah,
yours, a little smiley face. Nah. That's for you guys. You guys put that on
You're
there.
called the IT department?
Thank you.
Compliance.
Compliance.
Anybody want more?
Yeah, compliance, and then I also manage our agents program in California.
Unless they want to be up all night, just to go to the back office.
Oh, I'm not gonna be in that. But I guess I'll
Thank
have to
you.
learn.